وسلم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين.
بسم الإله بدأت مقالي وصليت بعد على أحمد محمد ما جاءنا بالهدى أصحاب الذين بما اقتدي روي إلهي بنور جميل ترحم ربي شيخ التجاني رضا الله دوما كمثل الغمام على صعيب الفيدة الكولخي
ألا لا إله إلا الله ربنا ألا لا إله إلا الله وحسبنا
رضا الله دوما كمثل الغمام على صاحب الفيدة الكولخي الشيخ سيسي سألنا رضاك بسلامي لا ذا الإلوري وأولنا كله غافرا وبلغ فهو شيخي ودربي على بدو جد له سرمدا للدعاء وهزك امتداحي ومن لبرهام سكرا وجدد له كل خير
ألا لا إله إلا الله ربنا ألا لا إله إلا الله وحسبنا
وعن البرهام سكرا منه وجدد له كل خير لقد ظن بالخير رغم افتقاري ولكن ربي مخفي العيوب ستر إلى الورى كل عيب أنا العبد كشفي مليء الذنوب وفي المريدين رزقا وحبي ولا تتركني وأنت رجائي على كل كيد العدا فاحفظني وشتت وبدد جميع الأهادي
ألا لا إله إلا الله ربنا ألا لا إله إلا الله وحسبنا
على كل كيد العدا فاحفظ عني وشتت وبدد جميع الأعادي إلهي فهذا دعائي وأنت المرجى لكشف الكروب أزد صلاتي وأنما سلامي على خير خلقك يا ذا الجلال
ألا لا إله إلا الله ربنا ألا لا إله إلا الله وحسبنا
لفقدك طلاب الحلم تحزنوا لفقدك طلاب العلوم تحزنوا وجدوا بدمعي لا يبيد جزير ولا طوب مع المدامع بالدماء لكان قليلا فيك شيخ على بدون
لكان قليلا فيك شيخ على بدون
لا إله إلا الله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله إلا الله محمد رسول لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله
Mahake Babawa
آمين
Alufawa
آمين
Mahake Babawa
آمين
Alufawa
آمين
Mahashu Alabidumba Mahake Babawa
الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله
ففهمناها سليمان وكلا آتينا حكما وعلما وسخرنا مع داود الجبال يسبحن والطير وكنا فاعلين يا حي يا قيوم يا رب موسى وهارون ونوح وإبراهيم وعيسى ومحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم أكرمنا بجودة الحفظ وسرعة الفهم وارزقنا الحكمة وثبات الزين والأكل والعلم بحق محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم يا رب العالمين
آمين
اللهم افتح لنا كتابك وسنة نبيك ظاهرا وباطنا وارزقنا العمل بهما بجائزاتك المقدسة يا رب العالمين
آمين
وادعو إلى طيب من القول وادعو إلى صراط الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
يا أيها النبي إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبايعنك على ألا يشركن بالله شيئا ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين ولا يقتلن أولادهن ولا يأتين ببؤتان يفترينه بين أيديهن وأرجلهن ولا يعصينك في معروف فبايعهن واستغفر لهن الله إن الله غفور رحيم.
يا أيها النبي إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبايعنك على ألا يشركن بالله شيئا ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين ولا يقتلن أولادهن ولا ياتين ببهتان يفترينه بين أيديهن وأرجلهن ولا يعصينك في معروف فبايعهن واستغفر لهن الله إن الله غفور رحيم.
الحمد لله
الحمد لله
رب السماوات والأرض رب المخلوقات الذي ما زال قوله حقا وهو لا يخلف الميعاد. رزقنا الله سبحانه وتعالى برؤية رمضان ولقد مر بنا ما مر بنا منه، فكل جزء من أجزاء رمضان جعله الله سبحانه وتعالى إضافة الرحمة والغفران للمؤمنين الذين صاموا نهارهم وقاموا ليألهم يستغفرون ويصلون يسبحون، ووعدهم الله سبحانه وتعالى على هذا العمل الخير جزاء لا يعلم قدره إلا الله. وقال على لسان رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم الصوم لي وأنا أجزي به. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يجعل ثوابنا ثوابا يقربنا إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى، أن يجعل ثوابنا ثوابا يعم نفعه الذين قد مضوا من أسرنا، ثوابا يكفر الله به ذنوبنا ويكفر عنا وعن والدينا السيئات ويدخلنا به جنته مع رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. يا الله يا رب العالمين آمين. فما زلنا في شرع الآية التي بين الله سبحانه وتعالى فيها ما كان حال النساء قبل الإسلام، ونريد أن نستعمل هذه الآية لنثبت أن صوت النساء ليس بالعورة، ويزعم البعض ذلك، وأن نحدد لهذا الإطلاق أيضا حدا نعرف بها، أو حدا نعرف به ما هي أهمية منع أو أهمية قصد بعض الذين يمنعون النساء أو يمنعون صوت النساء خارج بيوتهن. ما هو قصدهم وما هو الحد الشرعي الذي أثبته الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن وعلم الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم أصحابه عليه وسلم، واستنبطوا من ذلك أهل الوسطية الذين يقولون أن صوت النساء ليس بالعورة، إلا أن هناك كيد ويجب لكل طالب العلم أن يعلمه مع هذا الكيد. ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يفهمنا كلامه آمين، وأن يزيدنا علمه آمين، والتقى يا الله يا رب العالمين آمين. We thank Allah Azza wa Jal for another golden opportunity to be back here again today. Alhamdulillah. We can't thank him enough. All praises and adorations belong to him. Alhamdulillah. Is the Lord of our souls. He grants and he denies. He's granted us the opportunity not to only witness Ramadan, but also to witness Ramadan in a state that we cherish and appreciate. Alhamdulillah. And no matter how much we want to show appreciation to Allah Azza wa Jalla, it cannot really be enough. For Allah Azza wa Jalla has indeed blessed us more than all other nations. Part of his blessing on us is the fact that he allowed us to witness Ramadan, and he made Ramadan, every part of Ramadan, every day that goes by in Ramadan is an additional blessing from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. And Allah blessed us with the Quran to shed light on things that were otherwise deemed murky, things that were otherwise ambiguous. If you look at the Quran very well, the Quran, the intention, if you look at the issues that the Quran addresses, these issues had been there before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some of them were dealt with unjustly. Some were annexed based on sexual status or political affiliation, and some were not dealt with at all. And they all affect the society in which we live. For that reason, Allah Azza wa Jalla raised his prophets like any other prophet before him, but essentially Muhammad to come and address these issues and shed light on them, that they may be of clarity to mankind, because Allah Azza wa Jalla said that He has not ما فرطنا من الكتاب من شيء ما فرطنا في الكتاب من شيء. Allah Azza wa Jalla has not omitted anything except that He deals with in the Quran. And this verse that we're reading talks about when Allah Azza wa Jalla will inform His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that if the faithful women come to you, you have to understand being faithful has nothing to do with being pure. Being faithful means any commandment that comes from Allah Azza wa Jalla and His prophets, I will accept it without ambiguity. It does not mean I've reached the apogee of faith. It does not mean I'm operating at the very peak of purity. Rather, it means that I'm an open person who is teachable. A mu'min is someone who is faithful, who has faith in what is receiving from his principle. And the principle, and our principle in this case, was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have to understand he's also getting instruction from his principle, who is Allah Azza wa Jalla. Otherwise, the Prophet wouldn't have believed what Jibreel came to tell him. So he also was regarded as a mu'min, and for as long as he lived, Allah did not stop to teach him. He continued to be a student of knowledge. So for as long as he lived, Allah continued to teach him, and because he was a faithful, it was easy for him to accept what Allah would teach him through an angel, Jibreel. That shows you the level of his faith in Allah Azza wa Jalla. The faith he had in Allah was passed on to Jibreel, so that when Jibreel would tell him, he would not argue with Jibreel, because he knew Jibreel was not delivering his own message out of his own volition. Rather, he was delivering his message from who? His principle, who is Allah Azza wa Jalla. The same thing, every scholar, every student of knowledge like us, we cannot deliver our own message. The difference is one has to be granted the role to give the message. All of us cannot be here in front of the microphone and be talking. And there will be one of the things that we're going to deal with in this ayah. There will be chaos. There will be disorganization. It does not mean that we're better. It does not mean that you're less. But the message has to be passed on somehow. And therefore, all of us have to believe. When we read the message, we have to believe in it first, so we can pass the message on to you, because there is going to be a very clear dissociation between the messenger and the message if the messenger himself does not believe in the message. And therefore, the messenger serves as the mi'yar, as the uswa, the model, who had the exposure to the message before he passed the message on to the people. And he cannot argue the message. And that is why we have to delve into not just looking at the message from one end. The Prophet, no, we don't see the Prophet ﷺ. It was easy during the time of the Prophet ﷺ. If the Sahabas had a problem with an ayah that reached them, they would just go on to him and ask him a question, and he would say, of course, this is not the way it is, and this is the way it is. Right? But now, subhanAllah, several books and several school of thoughts. During there was no school of thought. There was just one school of thought. So now it's very difficult and extremely dangerous, especially if you don't have faith in one school of thought and you pick all schools of thought. And if you should type onto Google today and say, is the voice of Muslim women considered nakedness, you will see how many schools of thoughts. 1,000,001 school of thought. And if you pay attention, you will see I'm an SEO expert. When you type in any query in Google, right before you go to the results that you're shown, underneath you will see some numbers. In that number is showing you the number of queries that exists on the web, and also the number of pages that have dealt with this issue. And if you go further, if you use some tools to audit that page further, you will see that each of the keyword you type in, how many times it appears in a month. So it is therefore difficult for someone to say, I'm going to just get my knowledge from all over the place. Therefore, you're going to be confused. What you want to do is to have faith in one school of thought, who is taught by a school of thought that has a chain back to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in this case, the women, they came to Muhammad. Allah says, if the women come unto you,
إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبايعنك على ألا يشرك بالله شيئا على ألا يشركن بالله شيئا ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين ولا يقتلن أولادهن ولا يأتين ببهتان يفترينه بين أيديهن وأرجلهن ولا يعصينك في معروف فبايعهن واستغفر لهن الله إن الله غفور رحيم.
When the believing women come to you, or your prophet, you call them believing women, they already have faith. They already have faith, the believing women. But listen very carefully. Each and every issue that Allah mentioned after that, these women were involved in it. We're going to use the verse of Quran to prove that, and hadith to prove it as well. They were involved in it. That's part of the fact that they were believing women, women of faith. They still had to come and verbally, expressly say, we vow, or we take covenants with you, not vow, because a vow is nuzru, and we're going to get there as well. We take covenants with you not to be involved in shirk. Does it mean, however, if someone accepts faith today, it becomes a Muslim, or she becomes a Muslim, but we still see that this person is involved in shirk, can we outrightly do takfir of that person? No, we cannot. Maybe he does not know. There are a lot of Muslims today who do not have a problem, especially where we came from still being involved in the rituals of their family, the oguns of this world, the issue of this world, and they say there's nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, on the internet now, there are people justifying the fact that we have to go back to the roots, and the root is, we are all Odudua, and therefore this is what Odudua used to do. All right. So does it take them out of the fold of Islam? Not consciously, because they were not aware of what they're doing. What they're doing, they did not know that is wrong. So these women, when they come to the realization that, listen, we have to detach ourselves from what used to be our roots, and they came to Muhammad and say, we will not do shirk. We will not do shirk. They were not. Once you hear this verse, it tells you that they were doing shirk before, even though they were once mu'minats.
ولا يسرقنا
لا يسرقنا لا يشركنا àwọn ni pé wọ́n láwọn ò ní ṣẹbọ mọ́, wọn ò ní ṣẹbọ. alásàlátù mi náà ń ṣẹbọ. o lè ní kí n ṣe mùmínì torí àbáwọn délé wọn.
o lè ní kí n ṣe mùmínì torí pé àbáwọn délé wọn.
yóò gbé fa tí wọ́n dá fún wọn mọ́ṣáláṣí náà ká tó wọn ní àlájá sí òsì.
jẹ́ kí alásàlátù náà kó gbé ifá tí wọ́n dá fún náà sí mọ́ṣáláṣí ká tó gbé alájà kí la ṣe délé lọ́wọ́ yín.
And this is the source of bay'ah in tasawwuf. When you are a Sufi woman, you are already a mu'minah. What you came to do is to say, even though I was a mu'minah, now I want to hold myself accountable, and I want to seek you as my partner in this journey, and of course as my leader, to say, those things I will not go back to them. That is the base of bay'ah, both for men and women in tasawwuf, and that is why our mashayikh, when you come, when you want bawa, or what you want by keshebo, or what I will be balawa and ebineni sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The one we used to be will not be no more. We want to go beyond just being a mu'min to another daraja. The daraja is, we know these things are bad and we need guidance. Now we want to transform into spirituality. What we were before was just living in the world of faithfulness, which in reality, it is whatever you show us. We don't know. You can measure a mu'min by their face. It does not mean that he's sincere with it. And we're not going to dig into their life to see how sincere they are, because we don't know. Who knows if he's sincere as well? When they come unto you and they verbalize the fact that we're not going to commit shirk, you're not going to judge them and say, oh, well, so you were committing shirk? You know, the Dirinima Kosha Abodo.
The Dirinima Kosha Abodo.
So, boy, what are they?
Ayadakumullah bin Asiri.
The Dirinima Kosha Abodo. èèyàn àgbàlagbà rí ẹ tó ń bọ̀ látòdò wọ́n ní pé odò ló ti ń bọ̀ wá oníbẹ̀ ní kí ló lọ́ọ́ ṣe ó ní mo lọ fọṣọ ni asọ́dẹ̀pọ̀ létí ó dọ̀tí ń bá ní kí n kó fún ẹ kó bá mi fọ́ ọlọ́gbọ́n yóò ní kẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ máa wó o kódà ìgbà tí mo gbé lọ tí mo lọ ìfọṣọ aṣọ tí mo fọ gan kò tó ọ̀sẹ̀ ló sì sẹ́kù yìí tákẹ́ mo ti mọ̀ ní gbogbo aṣọ náà ní bàbá yín fọ̀ tán bí ò tiẹ̀ ní fọ̀ àmọ́ dèdè ni ó ní pé kí lẹ sọ ẹ̀yin lẹ ọsẹ fún mi àbí ẹ gbádùn dèdè inú ìgbà tí àwọn ọmọ pé ṣé mo máa ṣe báyìí tẹ́lẹ̀ ní síbẹ̀ mọ́ ni àwọn lè gbàgbọ́ wẹrẹ tó kíláàsì jọ yìí kò lè gbàgbọ́ wẹrẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ àná lè wá ṣe yẹn ó wá jẹ́wọ́ náà nìyẹn. So with men it would shake them and say deal meaning I'm going to guide you to ensure that you do right and you're also going to make sure that you do right. We have a deal. These women will come as well and we'll read the part where it says when they will come he will not shake them for reasons which of course we dealt with some of them yesterday and we'll elaborate on this today inshallah as well. Like you shake them, they will say we will not associate partner with Allah. It means they were doing it but it will not rebuke them for it because they've come to say we were that but we are no more. So what you used to be should not hold you back from becoming what you want to become. And that is why you have to have a leader that you have trust in. It's iman. Iman means what? Faith. Faith means what? Trust. Trust means what? Loyalty. You're not going to hear it from this source and both on that source and say, oh, there's nothing wrong in that. You can still do it, but there's a problem. Now you have two bosses. And humans will always lean towards the one that gives him the most one that gives him the softer landing.
ولا يسرقنا.
And they said from today we will not steal anymore. Are you saying there is no Muslim women who steal? And we will read further in some hadith, they were not just stealing other people's money, they were stealing their husband's money as well. And remember, we are dealt with the fact that before now they were incapacitated economically. They had no money. Men were the one controlling everything. So instead of them asking for the right for their men from their men, what were they doing? They resorted to stealing. Listen, it's not enough for you to steal because it doesn't give you. Because when you steal, you take more than you need. You steal to punish and not of vengeance, not out of survival. Yeah. And that is why in Islam, when someone steals and they bring the person to the court of law, you don't go right ahead and just cut the person's hand. No, we have to ask questions. Why do you steal? He has not paid me salary for 20 years. Or let's say for 20 months, because you're not going to be with him for 20 years, right? He's not paid me salary for 2 months. Oh, really? Have you paid him salary? No. How much would you have paid him otherwise? He said $2,000 a month. So how much did you steal? He said $6,000. Then you're a thief. How are you being paid $4,000, $2,000 a month, and you want to steal you steal $6,000? See, you're not stealing out of necessity, rather you're stealing out of what? Out of greed. Yeah, you strictness. Because there won't be a woman that will read about who came about her husband not giving her money to fend for herself and her children. And he told the woman to go out and take the money, but take only what you need, not out of So when people look at Sharia as the law of Allah, of course it is law of God, but it comes to address issues that are already in the society that no one else was dealing with. So when people hear about the Sharia of Islam, they think Sharia of Islam is so hard because Sharia of no, it's Sharia of humanity, Sharia of dignity, Sharia of adl, of justice.
Wala yaznina.
Àwọn di mẹ́ta lára wọn. Àwọn ti ẹbọ pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì wọ́n jalè, wọ́n làwọn ò ní jalè mọ́. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta wọ́n máa ṣe ṣìnà. Ọ̀rọ̀ ṣìnà yìí wá rọ̀ mọ́ nǹkan mi. Ibi títí máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. Òun náà labádé bí ohun wọn. Ṣé ìhòòhò ni àbí òòkọ́? Torí ohun lẹ́yìn ojú òun náà ni ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí náà lẹ́bìí ká máa déhùn láàrin ọkọ tó èso ọkùnrin tí èso ọkọ rẹ̀ tó wá wà lórí fóònù pẹ̀lú tó wà ń déhùn bóbìnrin bá déhùn fọkọ rẹ̀ yóò gbalada ni báwì
bóbìnrin bá dín fún ọkọ rẹ̀ yóò gba aládá ní.
Kí iṣu yẹn tó kẹ́ nítorí àwọ̀ bẹ̀.
Kó tó di pé àwọn jìnnìjìnnì ọ̀rọ̀ táwọn bá lọ.
Wàlá yasnina ó sọ fún ọ pé àwọn from today will not commit adultery no more. Will not they were mu'min but now mu'min ghayru zaniyat mu'minatun ghayru zaniyat. Now they're mu'mina who want to act their faith, not just believing in it but acting it.
ولا يقتلن أولادهن
and they made promise that they made covenant they would not kill their children no more, because they'll kill their children sometimes out of poverty, sometimes because of zina, as a result of zina. So kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lónìí. Ọmọ yìí jẹ́ lómi ti tẹ́ pé yìí jẹ́ lómi ti sẹ́ni. Tọ́lọ́mbà ní kí ẹ máa gba nọ́mbà kọ́ máa fi nọ́mbà sọ wájú rẹ̀ ni. Bó bá rí wọ́n pé Allahu Akbar. Ìwé ẹni ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wà lè di Sufi. Yóò wá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. When you come to the sheikh and say I've become a Tijaniya, what you're saying is ubayi'ika ala alla ushrika billahi shay'an walan aqtula yani awladi walan aznin walan asrika. When you do bay'ah, that is the problem with the. So when we say Sufi women, we are supposed to be the models for all decency, and then the ones that are loose, it's always a problem, especially in Nigeria. And you hear the sheikh telling them, "Kí ló gbé? Òfé gbé dáná bí ògbé."
Ní mọ́tòrá rẹ̀ o lè.
Tí a bá gbé ẹsẹ̀ lọ́sọ̀rùn torí pé ó ní ọ̀gá tó lè gbìjà rẹ̀, àwọn obìnrin yẹ kí wọ́n gbẹ́sẹ̀ lọ́sọ̀rùn. Ebọ́n ti di mùmíní. Káná bí ẹ̀yẹ́ òdòkù.
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
But the sheikh is the one that's going to be encouraging them to do it too. That is why, as beautiful as it is to do Maulid, the way they do Maulid in Nigeria, listen, man, there are peculiar situations where at the same time, truth has got to be told. You're not going to go to the venue of Maulid and you see Busta Rhyme, you know what I mean by Busta Rhyme, right? Jumping up and down, and they say they asalasi the lanjo, asalasi the ni ojo koloko. Aya the one say why? Koniwo. Lagbo Sufi. Bo logo kan koniwo abi ko si ko joju ni go. This woman was that lose as well, but they came and said, listen, today we're becoming Sufi. We're not going to do this no more.
ولا ياتين ببهتان يفترينه بين أيديهن.
And we will not initiate evils that emanate from our hands and our legs. Because back then, right, there was one of them who came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and on her hand she has all this gold and all this. If you wear gold in your hand, that's all right, but do not come and flash it in front of the sheikh. Even when a man flashing his finger, it could cause trouble, let alone a woman. And so all those things over here. Second one is modesty one. One Islam will tell your Islam come there. Lọ se be láàrin ọjà. Bó ni mú alu mẹ́ẹ̀dọ́gbọ̀n lọlé. Kilo kan Islam ni Islam wa ta yan ṣe ni kilo. Islam ni má balẹ̀ jẹ́ mọ́ lọ́wọ́ ṣe ko ma ṣe wa tún ayé ṣe ni pé ká má balẹ̀ jẹ́ mọ́ ni. And Islam yo ó di ní ajujare ká má tún lè ìwọ náà mọ̀ tó ṣe náà.
Wọ́n ló ní kun
oníkun mọ́ka náà.
Oníkun mọ́ka o.
I was invited to one of the big asalats, Well, this day I was not actually invited. I was still covering, I was writing for a magazine, and I went over there to interview the sheikh and the leader, I should say, and someone spotted me there and said, "Oh, this guy is an Afar, you should invite him to go and give lecture." But me, I went over there as a journalist, I was covering, I was covering the story of that man. And while as we were standing, these women, the way they were going by, man, forget what the Quran says. Are you saying that is right? When people make it Islam issue, no, Islam comes to, or rather came to restore dignity back to women. Women have 1,001% control over zina. 1,001%. So much that they're even protected by the law. Oh, Boba women don't hire you. Harassment going. Harassment to me. So you go to Bado Kuribo, you pay there. What about you in Nigeria? Come to police station, going on file harassment charges. Can you bring a line? Do you want to marry? Ọlọ́pàá ní sọ ọ ya wèrè ọ̀rẹ́ kí ni wọ́n wá sí.
ولا يأتين ببهتان يفترينه بين أيدينا وأرجلهن.
And they should not start evils that emanate from their hands and their legs. That is why he advised them in Surah An-Nur, when they walk, they should walk diligently, because back then, they have ornaments around their ankles. Alright, and when they walk, it makes sounds. And when it makes sounds, men can hear it and they turn around. And some women will intentionally do it that men should look at them. That is what goes to some people saying they should not wear cologne. Of course they can wear cologne, alright? I mean, human, you're going to smell, right? But the cologne you're going to wear is not going to be the one that attracts every damn person. You can't go out. See, the red light, the traffic light and stop sign are put there not because they think all of us are going to speed, but to prevent us from doing what? From speeding. Because if you don't control speeding, you will not be able to control the results of speeding. You don't know what's going to happen. The same thing is the reason when you go to like events, not just Muslim events, men and women, they sit separately just to put in place some kind of stop sign. Do you understand? Because you don't know what's going to happen. We're humans, and I tell people, you continue to mix it up. Human and sheikh, or human and pastor. These are two different people. I'm not sure if you can ask your doctor if the sheikhs and the pastors have different hormones. It's the same freaking one in your husband and the one in the men. So you come out and entice them. What do you think is going to happen? Pastor, so what is it, Ben? Continue flipper. I see church, you know. Don't know on your son who am bikini. Respectful like you. And if you don't address it, rather, listen. It takes one evil, just one evil, to destroy the whole country. Just one evil. What do you guys say killed Abacha? Oh, okay. One of the accusations that we relieved women of before now was what is women? You will say women were the one that caused that evil, and you see how much it spread. It takes just one evil to start, and you're in trouble. And you want to say some people are sheikhs and some are pastors, so they were made with different hormones. Okay. I am believe but you know. That is why Islam will say, you dress modestly because to prevent it, right? To serve as a barrier to not crossing it. Now, if you go beyond that, then you're in trouble. The fault is on you.
ولا يأتين ببهتان يفترينه بين أيديهن.
There is no starts evil emanating from their hands and their legs, using that to entice the entire world and men. And when that happens, the entire place is going to be in trouble. You want to destroy a nation, let the women go loose. You're in trouble. So when Islam is saying, Islam is addressing issues that were otherwise in existence, Islam did not come with any new thing. Issues that some people were using to their own advantage. Let me ask you this. You walk into your room and you find a man on top of your woman. How would you react? You walk into a room, you find a woman, and your man in bed. How would you react? If that does not sit well with you, why would you think that will sit well with Allah Azza wa Jalla? Why would you think there should not be a law scriptural enough to detect, to deter people from doing it? if you will not take it as an individual, right? An individual becomes a community becomes a state becomes a nation. The nation comes together and become what? The entire world. If evil starts from home and you will not accept it, why do you think Allah will allow such evil to spread before He addresses it? Or even when it's spreading, it will not address it. And you say, oh, it's because Allah wants to deter women from this and that. I can show my hair to whatever I want. Is your hair? Allah tell you. You are a mother, right? And you're modest, and your son brings home a girl. Your son brings home a girl. And the girl has gold all over this place, all this gold all over this place, and the leg and the skimpy, and she comes in and says, who is this? That's a girl I want to marry. What are you going to say? You're not the prophet though. You haven't read the Quran. But he comes in with a woman like that. What would you say? I do not care what color you are. Unless you've resorted to being loose yourself and you are being adamant, you are deceiving yourself thinking it's right. You know it's not right. You would be the first to tell yourself like, it's your life, if you marry her, me, I don't know.
ولا يعصينك في معروف.
And when you command them or you give them instructions, they listen. And they be told sobe. All this time they used to talk to him, and I'll tell you why he stopped coming out to talk to them. It does not mean he still did not talk to them, and what he told them not to do. All right, Joe. Listen, they've come to you, right? They've acknowledged the deficiency. They come to you as a prophet. Then do bay'ah for them. A woman comes over here, she was otherwise loose, she wants to become a student of the Tijaniya. We're not going to say because she was otherwise loose, she wouldn't become a Tijaniya. No, she's a mu'minah, right? That's why she's come. You're not going to crucify her based on her past life. These women had a past life. They came and said, we are changed women now. So the religion is, of course, you accept them and they say, mashallah. But what we find in Sufism today is we live with Sufi women. Our mothers were all Sufi. We knew how modest they were. And that is how our Sheikh Malash Abdullah Abidu. While I was in Nigeria, I think we only had Maulid maybe about 3 or 4 times, because you leave this thing open, man. Wallahi, you need to go see what people are doing at Maulid. Whenever there is a mixture of men and women, a lot of things you can't control. We gotta be sincere with ourselves. So being modest, control those things. Put some kind of, check and balances in place. Do you understand what I'm saying? But they come as who they are. Of course, they come as they are. Inshallah, we say mashallah. But from today, this is what Islam says. This, and there's nothing that our Sheikh says that Islam did not say. Same thing. Clearing.
واستغفر لهن.
Part of which is you do istighfar for them.
واستغفر لهن الله إن الله غفور رحيم.
واستغفر لهن الله سكوا كودا omi we gba wallahi Yorùbá ló lè foríjì mi kí ló ṣe yóò ní báyìí báyìí istaghfir lahun Allah sọkúà Ọlọ́run dá jù báyìí lọ yóò foríjì ọdọ bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́. If you cannot find forgiveness in the house of the Lord, where will you find forgiveness? If the Zawiya does not guarantee forgiveness, if the Masajid does not guarantee forgiveness, if we judge people based on the way they dress today, not based on the way they're going to be dressing going forward, do you understand? Where would they find forgiveness? Ask Allah to you. It is, listen. They come, now is your job to ask Allah to forgive them. And Allah will do what? Will forgive them. The reason why you think Allah will not forgive them is because you have not asked Allah to forgive them. A woman Mumba.
أيدكم الله بنصره.
Kilo wa vai.
يا نساء النبي من يأتي منكن بفاحشة مبينة يضاعف لها العذاب. يا أيها النبي إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبينك على ألا يشركن بالله شيئا ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين ولا يقتلن أولادهن ولا يأتين ببهتان يفترينه بين أيديهن وأرجلهن ولا يعصينك في معروف فبيهن واستغفر لهن الله إن الله غفور رحيم.
A woman came to Aisha
رضي الله تعالى عنها.
جاءت فاطمة بنت عتبة تبايع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. A woman came to Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم. And they are, when he reads all these conditions to them, they have to say أقرنا. They will say at the time, yani, they would do bay'ah and they would, yani, أقرنا, and they would say we accepted. So they would in fact talk, right? They will verbalize the acceptance of all these conditions. That is to further prove that their voice was not otherwise known as what? As haram. It's not aura. And this woman came and فأخذ علي ألا يشركن بالله ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين. قال فوضعت يدها على رأسها حياء فعجبه ما رأى منها صلى الله عليه وسلم. A woman by the name Fatima bint Utbah, she came to Muhammad to do bay'ah. She came to Muhammad to do bay'ah, and the Prophet ﷺ, read all of these conditions. Do not do shirk, do not do zina, do not steal, do not do this and that. You know what the woman did? She put her hand on her head. I mean, what do I?
أيدكم الله بنصره. أيدكم الله بنصره.
To tell you that they were what? Doing it before. And فعجبه ما رأى منها, and the Prophet was surprised. Why are you? What do you mean? You don't expect that you're going to become Sufi and we say just go ahead and start doing all of these things? You said that you become a mu'min and we say go ahead and keep doing it? You came because you want to become a new person. فوضع يدها على رأسها فعجبها ما رأى منها, and you're like
أيدكم الله.
فقالت عائشة, and said Aisha, she said أقري أيتها المرأة. You have to say أقري أيتها المرأة. Hey, he has read the conditions to you. You have to verbalize that you accept. You have to verbalize that you what?
You accept.
Again, the theme of the subject is that their voice is not what? It's not aura. There are conditions, however. Inshallah, we'll get them not today, tomorrow. But we've got to let you understand this, because especially as Sufi, if there is anything Tasawwuf stands for, Tasawwuf is a step above being a mu'minah or a mu'min. But because the mashayikh of Tasawwuf, they understand uslub al-da'wah wa uslub al-ta'lim, الذي كان أصله التدرج ليس بالتبرج، التدرج، لأن كل شيء بدأ بتدرج. You gotta take it one step at a time. The fact that they come down, it doesn't mean the next day they just go back to, they just become pure and holy all of a sudden, right? But today, if you see women that want to be loose, they look for an avenue to be loose, and they think going to a salatu or zawiya is an avenue for them to just do whatever they want to do. Because of course it's Sufi anyway, it's Sufism anyway, we're just going to do whatever we want to do. No, that's not the way it's from. Sufi is, listen, Tasawwuf is the only form you come to, you have to do bay'ah. Just like these women did with who? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu.
Number one.
Ayadakumullahu binasiri.
And for qalat Aisha aqarri ayatuha al-mara. Hey lady, she says, hey lady. Aisha says, hey lady. You gotta accept. Say you heard. And فَوَاللَّهِ مَا بَايَعْنَا إِلَّا عَلَى هَذَا. Even us, his wife, when we do bay'ah, it was the same conditions. There was no different condition for us, a different condition for the other Muslim women. Equality. The same conditions that apply to his wives were the same conditions that apply to other Muslim women. And that is why a lot of things that we're going to go to where you're trying to go, Abdul Razak. That is why a lot of times it would start with the wives of the Prophet, that they may serve as a model for the other Muslim women. When they would come, when they used to come, it used to be that I would talk to them. Some women came and they do bay'ah and says, and follow based on your capability and ensure that you're not too hard on yourself. Take it one day at a time. You're not going to get there one day, right? Take it one day at a time. And kunna Allah wa Rasuluhu arham bina min anfusina. When they came, their thoughts, it was going to just rebuke them and say bad things about them. And when he told them that inshallah, you should do it, based on your own pace, so do not be too hard on yourself, because when you rush into it, you're going to do what? Rush back out of it. It's been your life for 20, 30 years, and you just want to drop it today. That is why when someone drinks or they have alcohol or drug problem, they take them to rehab. And when they go to rehab, the first thing they do is they give them what they like. People that have drug issue, what do you think they first treat them with? Drug. Cocaine and one of one. Because it's going to have bad withdrawal. Oh, I'm going to taper it down there. Alaja ti keki on tele. Kini nìkan ló kù tí o ti bò ẹ̀yìn ojú rẹ̀.
Ẹ̀yìn ojú nìkan ló kù tá alájà ò tí bò.
Alájà tó yẹ bàbá ńlá ó ná ségèké.
Ó ná ségèké.
Olórí àwọn oníkèé l'Amẹ́ríkà. Kódà tó fi wá gan ni pé ó rò pé ní ìdí mọ́sálásí òun bá yín wọ́ọ̀kì púpọ̀. Àwọn àfáà tí wọ́n wá lé wọ́n làwọn lọ sí ìlú bìkan. Ìtọ́lẹ̀ lọ ó ti yé mi, àwọn oníkèé ni wọ́n bá wọn ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì. Wọ́n jọ ka yín mọ́ kìíní jọ kan orí òun bọ̀ láti Nàìjíríà ò ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì rẹ̀ òun wá pé oní mùrídì kan ní Maryland, mùrídì tó mọṣẹ́ ti ń ṣe gbogbo mùrídì mi ni mo mọṣẹ́ ti ń ṣe. Èyí tí ò bá níṣẹ́ àbá wa ṣe, èyí tí ò bá ṣe lórí half train ẹ̀ àwọn mùrídì kò mọṣẹ́ ti ń ṣe ọwọ́ alẹ́ òun bẹ̀ ẹ má wọrí ṣe má bá yín ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì kí n lọ dé airport kí wọ́n mú mi lẹ̀. Ó wá rí bí alájí ẹ má lọ kí mọ́ ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé iṣẹ́ àwọn ilẹ̀ wa láìkì àwa máa ń train àwọn èèyàn fún IT ń bí o tẹ́bálẹ̀ fẹ́ lọ medical school ẹ fẹ́ lọ pharmacy school ìyàwó yìí fẹ́ ṣe nursing abẹ́kìnní kan láwọn tí wọ́n lè train yín èwo lẹ́yìn mú ń bẹ̀ àmọ́ kò ṣe yìí mọ́ ọ wá ní pé látòní lọ ẹgbọ́n lókè mọ́ ẹgbọ́n náà ẹ wá ní ó máa lọ wàlá ẹran lóyà rẹ̀ ò ní òfin rà. The Prophet told them, pace yourself. We know it's hard, you've been in this kind of lifestyle for a little while, but inshallah with time you're gonna become better. And they said, "Kunna Allah wa Rasuluhu arham bina min anfusina." They were surprised. They said, even Allah and His Prophet were more merciful to us than ourselves. We were harder on ourselves than the Prophet and Allah are with on us. Oh, but Iran down Afghanistan. Ẹnjẹ́ ló jábọ̀ wá ní kó lọ rán ètò mọ̀kànlẹ̀ ó ti ẹ̀jọ́ fi àfi lérùn náà kó wá ètò fìtì ẹ̀ kó ṣe kíni tó bá yára pé yóò máa lè tí ó kalẹ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ wá dá ìjà àbùjọ gbogbo ẹni tó bá ti gbọ́wọ́ sáúsúfì tó bá ti gbọ́ tàríkà ẹ̀ wá dá ìjà àbù gẹ̀rẹ̀jẹ̀jẹ̀ ẹ̀ máa kó sí wọn lọ́rùn ìwọ́n ló ń bá ṣiṣẹ́ àbówóṣẹ́ yìí náà kan ní wọ́n fi ń sanwó náà záwíà owóṣẹ́ wọn náà kan ní tàdárùjù ní gbogbo nǹkan. And that is why people think, because of that leniency, because we understand what Prophet says, that's why people think you can just come to Zawiya and be loose. No, because our mashayikh, they understand uslub al-da'wa wa ta'lim. يبدأ بتدرج لابد أن يبنى درجة بعد درجة الناس كذلك يعيشون وكذلك يكونون ينتقلون من درجة إلى درجة أعلى من تلك. They're not going to come to them and say, go and memorize all the verses of the Quran. Go and memorize the Bukhari. Listen, man, that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. Mulana Shah Abdullah Ilori, I heard in one of the lectures of Mulana Shah Abdullah Ilori, may Allah increase his health. He said one of the teachers wanted to implicate one of the students, and he went to Sheikh, and he said, Sheikh, this guy, this student is a very bad student. Why? He smokes cigarettes all the time. And you know what he was expecting? That Sheikh would say, you smoke cigarettes? And Sheikh called him and said, wọ́n lè máa mu sìgá ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pálí mẹ́rin ló máa mu lójúmọ́ ẹni jẹ́ tí nǹkan bá lọ dédé bẹ́ẹ̀ pálí mẹ́ta ṣé òyìnbó náà ti pọ̀ jù pálí mẹ́ta pọ̀ ó yẹ dínkù sí ẹyọkan ẹni mu tí ò fi mu sìgá náà ó sì ń tọ̀ sí. obìnrin tí lọ ń jó lejó tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́ pé gbogbo alẹ́ Friday owó tẹ́mi ọ̀ bá sùn lẹ́ ọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń wá. ó wá wá sáwé àwọn àníkàlẹ̀ bàbá lè yé lọ́jọ́ ń bẹ̀ ó wá sáwé oníkà mọ̀ dàwáká ṣé ojú eré ni wọ́n mọ́jú omi tó wà tẹ́lẹ̀. ó wá sọ̀sẹ̀ láti òní àwọn obìnrin wọ́n ti lù obìnrin tí a tó ní ọmọ ìjọ tó ṣe ìjáàbù gbẹ̀rẹ̀gẹ̀ ni ó bẹ́ẹ̀ àbá yìí gbogbo Naira Marley ní bẹ lágbárí ẹ sáwọn àti ẹgbàá lọ́wọ́ ń wọlé ilá ẹ má mi díẹ̀ abẹ́ẹ̀kọ́ bí sẹ́ ẹ má jẹ́ díẹ̀ kọ́ ni o wọ́n náà mọ̀ o. Only Allah wa Rasul arham bina min anfusina. Allah and His Prophet are even more lenient with us than ourselves. We were hard on ourselves. We thought we were going to be rebuked. We thought we were going to be chastised. Chastised. Not carry me be around Saudi Korean. You are fast. Then you battery that was not what He did with them. It was lenient with them, and they were surprised. And listen, and when that happened, you know what they said next? They said, Ya Rasulullah, Allah tusafihana, Allah tusafihuna. What the Prophet of Allah? Allah tusafihuna. Are you not going to shake us? Yeah, see, they realized that He was even more lenient with them. And now they want to do what? Take it further. And he says, Allah tusafihuna, are you not going to exchange handshake with us? And he says, Inni la usafihu nisa innama qawli li imra'atin wahida ka qawli mi'at imra. No, I do not shake women. I do not shake women. So then we say, oh, Islam say you should not shake a woman. Why must you shake someone else's wife? I mean, when we are at work, right? Inshallah, we have a meeting. Are you doing, Mrs. Dawe? That's it, right? But you go on around shaking every damn woman that you see, hugging every damn woman that you see. You know that your heart is sick. You know it. You ain't got to be told. You see any woman, the first thing you do is, Afai, tell your, I need to call your Islam Gombe. Your Islam Gombe, you don't say, so go you money. Say no call rẹ̀. Ìwọ ìyàwó tọkọ rẹ̀ kan obìnrin tó wá obìnrin ní sẹ́wọ́n tí wọ́n observe. You know you're flirty. I beg you. Why do you shake every woman? Torí pé láwọn ni wọ́n fi wá kọ́ yóò wá nígbà Islam yìí le jù kò lè. À ń gbòòrò mọ́ndì ẹ̀rọ ọkú ni. À ń gbòòrò mọ́ndì rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ọkú ni. Islam ò lé o. Islam ò lé. Wọ́n ṣe kí ọkùnrin ọ̀rọ̀ ilé ọkọ̀ tí kí ló tó ń bèrè pé ṣé ò ní bọ̀ ọ́ lọ́wọ́? What they ask? Because they saw him exchange handshake with who? With men when they come for bear. And they say, Allah tusafihuna, are you not going to shake us as well? And he says, I do not shake women. Because when I talk to a woman, it's like already talking to 100 women. He backed that up with giving them what? Restoring their what? Their dignity. So they do not feel as if they are being berated. He said, no, I don't have to shake you. Even me talking to you alone is more valuable than talking to just one man. Because me talking to a woman, I'm not talking to 100 men, 100 women. Olófà tí wọ́n fi gbọ́wọ́. Olófà tí wọ́n kì í fi gbọ́wọ́ o. ẹlòmíì náà mà ẹlòmíì wá sí Zaria ilé ìbólà wa tẹ́nà ọ̀rẹ́ kí ṣe o wọ́n náà fẹ́ gbọ́ yàrá pé mi káwọ́ mi kọ́ yàrá pé akílẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ òye tí a fẹ́.
yàrá ẹ̀bọ̀ ṣé o lọ́wọ́ ṣé o ń gbọ́wọ́ sáá.
láti gbogbo obìnrin kọ̀ọ̀kan bí bá wọlé tí wọ́n ń bọ̀ mí lọ́wọ́ ẹ dákun ṣé mùsíbà ò tí ì sílẹ̀kùnlẹ̀. Malaysia man may see I have seen several times when women want to greet him. Some American women will come to Kaula, right? Some of them, of course, they just heard about Kaula and they came, and they want to greet him because they see us handshake, doing a handshake with him, and they want to greet him, and we just do a suba like this, and they'll touch the suba. And some see they say, I'll show you one, you're doing shirku, giving women suba to touch. So you would have wanted.
يا أيها النبي.
Listen, and the hikmah from it is this, but it cannot be hard on them because they will feel insulted, and therefore we just put it suba. That is one example. The other one, I went over here to Masjid al-Taqwa to ask Sheikh, forgot the Sheikh's name over there. It's from Egypt, right? It's Sufi as well, Shazili, and I was asking him question. And a lady came, one of the little, almost grown girl came, and the brother came and shook hand with Sheikh, and the girl came, wanted to shake hand with Sheikh, and Sheikh had, you guys know one of the rida that I put on my neck, the Sheikh had that thing on his neck, and he put that on his hand, and the girl puts her hand on that. And I asked her, why do you do that? I said, when I was younger, my Sheikh, they used to do that. And they said that is to prevent fitna. It is true. Listen, it takes just this to trigger a hormone in a man. I'm not sure if you know that, or me, I'm a man, I'm telling you. And the Sheikh, he puts it like this, and the girl just went like this. And I said, Sheikh, why did you say? Well, when I was growing up, I observed that from my Sheikh. Whenever they would do one, when little girls will come like that, so they don't feel like, the Sheikh did not like them because they couldn't comprehend, right? It would do that. And they said, are you not going to shake us? Exchange handshake with us? He said, no. I do not exchange handshake with women.
يا أيها النبي إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبيعنك على ألا يشركن بالله شيئا.
قالت عائشة فمن أقر بهذا الشرط من المؤمنات قال لها رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم قد بايعتك كلاما قد بايعتك كلاما لا والله ما مست يد امرأة في المبايعة قط وما يبايعهن إلا بقوله قد بايعتك على ذلك. هذا لفظ البخاري. When a woman would come, a Prophet will say, do you accept all these conditions? And she will say, yes, I accept the condition. And he will say, I've done covenant with you. And Aisha said, I never saw him touch a woman's hand except that he would just tell them, do you accept the condition? And as soon as he says, I accept the condition, and that's it. So if, of course, touching them is makruh, right? But talking to them is not what? It's not haram because their voice is not what? But it got to a point when it was not coming out to them no more. And that is what people think, and regarded their voice as what? As aura. Oh, Farah.
ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين.
A woman came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to do bay'ah. وفي يده ثوب قد وضعه على كفه ثم قال. When a woman came, the Prophet ﷺ had a cloth on him, and he put the cloth on his hand, and he said, ولا تقتلن أولادكن. The woman probably insisted on shaking hands, right? And he says, do not kill your children. And he says, فقالت امرأة تقتل آباءهم وتوصين بأولادهم. So you are telling us not to kill our children? Listen, this is a woman who had come to give covenants. She said, so you are telling us not to kill our children when of course you killed their fathers in battles. How do you think she had said it? But said, oh, you tell us not to kill our children and you kill their father. No, she raised her voice. She did what? That was part of the reasons why it would not come out with them. Rather, it would send Umar to them. Umar said, and I will tell them what Prophet says. And he will say, the Prophet had done bayah for you. And they will also say, Akarna, of course we accept that as well. And they will go their way. If their voice was aura, why would he allow Umar to do what? To talk to them. Because if it was haram for him, it was haram for who as well? For his companions. Oh, Sinto Sinto.
ولا يقتلن أولادهن ولا يأتين ببهتان يفترينه بين أيديهن وأرجلهن ولا يعصينك في معروف فبيهن واستغفر لهن الله إن الله غفور رحيم.
One of the women that came as well to do bayah, and I haven't read all the conditions to them. Like we would read, if you have ever listened to Malan Mama Isisi, when she will give bayah to some women that want to become Tijaniya, it will read all these conditions for them. And it will say, do you accept? They will say, I accept. If they do not extend their hand, it will not extend the subha. Do you understand? If they don't extend their hand, it will not extend the subha. But if they extend their hand, it will do what? Extend the subha. If it's just a little baby, just a little baby, it can play with the baby. But if it's a girl that is already reaching puberty, it will just extend his subha or do his clothes, put it on his hair like that, on his palm, that she may touch it.
يا أيها النبي إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبينك على ألا يشركن بالله شيئا ولا يسرقن
Having come to fulfill and expressly verbalize that they will fulfill all those conditions, then you cannot chastise them. You cannot rebuke them. You cannot send them back to where they're coming from. No, you've got to be lenient with them. You have to say that Allah wa Rasuluhu arhama bihinna min anfusihinna. Min anfusihinna ala anfusihinna. The Allah shows mercy to them more than themselves. Not because Islam, if there is any religion that gives dignity to women, it's Islam. Are you happy the way women are being used as sex objects today? You want to sell any foolish thing, what do? Just have a woman go naked and women will go there. Even in America, those that drink, if you have a bar that is just full of men, they will not sell. Oh, you have to have women in their bikini going up and down. Do you know the prodigal sons when they go to the club? They want to pop champagne, pop. All right. Who's gonna carry the thing? Women, ojú òfin yàrá lé yóò lọ sí.
Ojú òfin yàrá lé ìyá mi rẹ lé owó tó fún ọ̀nà ń bẹ̀ o.
Kó máa jẹ́ oníkálukú nínú náà jẹ.
Kó máa jẹ́ oníkálukú wá nínú jẹ.
Ṣé Islam ni wàá ṣe mẹ́yẹ̀ ìwọ náà mọ̀ ẹ́ alhalal bayyin ni wal haram bayyin. Ṣé o mú mustabi àti wa ilé? Ṣé Islam wàá ṣe mú yìí wá? Àbí Islam wàá gbà yín lẹ̀?
أيدكم بنفسه ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين ولا يقتلن أولادهن ولا يأتين ببهتان يفترينه بين أيديهن وأرجلهن ولا يأسينك في معروف فبيهن واستغفر لهن الله
إن الله غفور.
باب النسيء وسورة الأحزاب. تملك الداس بينقش
يا نساء النبي ما يأتي منكن بفاحشة مبينة يضاعف لها العذاب ضعفين وكان ذلك على الله يسيرا وما يقنت منكن لله ورسوله وتعمل صالحا نؤتها أجرها مرتين وأعتدنا
نساء النبي من يأتي منكن بفاحشة مبينة يضاعف لها العذاب ضعفين وكان ذلك على الله يسيرا. And of course the wife of the prophet have to be the yardstick. That is why he would call him and say, tell your wife. That is why he will address his wives first. That is why, not even in religion, even in the corporate world, your CEO's wife is not going to behave like every other person. Do you understand that, right? The CEO's wife has to be the model. If the CEO's wife comes to work and she works with her husband and she's the one that eats at her desk, she's the one that does her makeup at her desk, she's the one that causes trouble in the office, what do you think other women will do? So that is why Allah will always address his wife. Be a model. Be a model. And Allah is addressing his wife in Quran chapter 3, verse 30. Verse 30.
Ya nisa nabiyyi.
All ye wives of the prophets.
Ma yati minkunna bi fahishatin mubayyinatin. Ayadakumullah.
Man yati
minkunna bi fahishatin mubayyinatin.
If any one of you is known to start any clear evil that is evidential, we know that this person is a wife of the prophet and you are the cartel of any trouble, any evil. Torí Yorùbá burú ìyàwó mọ́mù lọ́kọ́ ń jà mọ́sálásí. Ìyàwó lè mọ́mù ó sì torí lè gbé.
ìyàwó lè mọ́mù tó ń jà mọ́sálásí.
ìyàwó sẹ́wù ọjọ́ ni wọ́n mọ̀ ṣe mọ́sálásí ní Zawiya ọlọ́kọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ rẹ̀.
olórúkọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ rẹ̀ ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ rẹ̀ bù.
ìyàwó
sẹ́wù ni.
ẹsìn ní kíkí ní kan ọmọ lábúlé bàbá baálẹ̀ ń tagbó ìyàwó rẹ̀ ń tò gógóró ẹsìn lẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ sùn.
ẹsọ pé ìfẹ́ sùn lábúlé o.
baálẹ̀ ní sì ń tagbó yìí.
baálẹ̀ ló ń tagbó ìyàwó ń tò gógóró.
kí ló ń bẹ èsù irinṣẹ́ èsù dà.
irinṣẹ́ èsù náà lè gbé dání o.
àsìkò tí mo
ẹ̀rọ kó mú lọ́wọ́ náà sí.
It's why we were the models. And again, it is not an Islamic problem. It is not a Muslim problem. It is not a Quranic problem. It is a societal problem. So if Islam is entreating in our book to say, do not say, oh, Islam is harsh on women. No. You are the CEO's wife. You're not going to go to the office and behave like a common receptionist. I just came back from a mastermind in DC, and my friend who organized the mastermind, he had put up a sign. He said, I'm not going to accept this no more. That was like 2 days before we went over there. He said, I'm not going to accept this no more. When you come to the office, please do not bring fish. And I wrote there. I said, well, Anik, I'm sorry, but when I'm coming, I'm bringing fish and locust beans. Because I knew what he was talking about. And of course, when we got there, listen, he said when he built the place, all the decor in the place was done by his wife. Was done by who? His wife. So that is why I would always address the wife of the prophet, because other women will judge him based on his wife. Do you understand? They said, but you tell us to do all this, but your wife is not doing it. None of your wife is doing it. You want to tell people to do something, they've got to see it in you as well. They've got to see it in your family. That is why you see the family of the sheikhs, the family of the afars, the family of the pastors, they will be different. The family of the presidents. And Allah told them, oh ye women of the prophets, if any one of you starts any evil, if any one of you is accused, any one of you, if any evil is traced, any obvious evil is traced to any one of you, the wives of the prophets, Allah says our punishment will be doubled. The punishment of an ordinary woman of an ordinary Muslim woman is just punishment. However, if you're a wife of the prophets and you are the cartel of any evil, your punishment will be doubled.
وكان ذلك على الله يسيرا.
And access for me to double your punishment is easy for me. I don't care who your husband is. Àwọn àyà tó kù onígbà padà sí bí ohun là ń tìrìtì sẹ́.
Ohun là ń tìrìtì lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí o.
Ó sì ń tòsí. Àwọn àyà tó kù.
Àwọn àyà tó kù.
Á débẹ̀ lọ́la.
Á débẹ̀ lọ́la pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run.
Islam iṣẹ́.
Islam iṣẹ́ tá à ń sọ yìí.
Kò sófin kankan tó lé ń bẹ̀.
Kò sófin kankan tó lé wá múlẹ̀ ìrọ̀rùn fún wa ni.
Tí Islam bá dé àdírẹ́sì kìíní kan.
Tí Islam tó bá ń tìrìtì kìíní kan lọ́wọ́.
It is for the benefit of the concerned party. It's not
àǹfààní àwọn ẹ̀dá tó dá.
Allah doesn't have girls or it doesn't have daughters or wives.
Ọlọ́run òbí wọn kò lórogún o ẹnìkan ò sì bí.
So it's just unfortunate that today what we see is different from what Allah says. You go to Zawiyat and not our sheikhs. I know the wives of my sheikh Mulashi Mama Isisi. Decent, nice women. You can go to their home, and talk to them. How you doing, mashallah? You see them, you see women around them. When you get there, you can see that modesty. Wọ́n ní àwọn ṣéwù ìwọ ló ń ṣe ọ̀nà dán ní Zaria ọ̀nà dán.
Odidi àwọn ṣéwù ló ń ṣe ọ̀nà dán.
Bí wọ́n ṣe bá aṣọ àṣì wọn ìyàwó náà kọ́ olùkọ́ mọ̀lẹ́ làwọn.
ìyàwó wọn kọ́ wọn orí tí ìyàwó wọn sọ.
Èyí tó ń bá nàbí sọ̀rọ̀ pé ìwọ ní ká mẹ́mọ̀ pọ̀ mọ́ wa ebó pa àwọn bàbá wọn jẹ́ nínú ogun wọ́n ní ká mọ̀ pọ̀ mọ́ àwọn àwọn tó pa ń kọ́ ó ń bẹ nínú àwọn tí wọn náà kó jọ yìí òun náà sọ̀rọ̀ njọ́ kan yóò ń bẹ́ bá ti pa mí sọ eléyìí náà.
Ìsọ eléyìí náà ìwọlẹ́nu rẹ gbọ́rọ̀ bí bàtí ẹ̀ pa mí o.
That's why we say you want. This one is a school,
ilé ike òní bí o kò ń ṣèjọ.
And anyone that comes has to see him or herself as a student. Because listen, my Jannah is not your Jannah. May Allah not put us in hellfire. And there are issues that people have attributed to Islam when of course they're not Islamic issues. They're just normal human issues. Now when we see a group or groups of people rather who do not treat these issues very well and they seem extremely harsh and inhuman, and of course we have to explain it, right?
MashaAllah.
But Islam جاء برسالة اليسر لا برسالة العسر. Islam came with the message of what? Ease and comfort, not difficulty. May Allah really help us. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll dive into the rest of Suratul Ahzab, and we may be able to get to a very crucial point, which started because women were talking to Prophet as well. May Allah be with us. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi subhanallahil azim. خفيفتان على اللسان ثقيلتان في الميزان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن سبحان الله
وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم.
سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون.